our continuation of our conversation with Ryan Sheehy from Meraki. Again, my name is Tony Alexander, and I focus 100% for Convergint on cloud native solutions. And I'm really excited to continue this conversation with you, Ryan. So one of the other things that I think is interesting, and I kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about and get your take on is, this idea of eliminating hardware on a site, right? Not just moving to cloud, but how do I mitigate or limit the amount of hardware that I have on a site? And what's the true value of that, if you per se? So just want to kind of get your take on that. What does that look like?
So, just removing the bare metal server, right, that a lot of customers are using today to store video footage. And when we think about this is really an interesting thing. We've conducted studies, we've worked with third-party organizations who have conducted studies and found that about 99% of video footage is unwatched.
Right.
And that is that means that server, which is aggregating 30 days, 60 days of footage, and then you have to go and manually delete it so that you can free up more storage or roll off old storage, that's a waste of energy.
Right.
It's a waste of space. It's a waste of all kinds of time and maintenance. And so by removing that server, doing things on the camera itself, and then automating that storage retention policy, you're able to get rid of that hardware and not really be any worse for wear. We've actually talked to several customers who, an example, a large clinical healthcare provider, 3,000 locations with an NVR on each one of their sites. Each NVR was consuming $900 worth of power and cooling costs per year per NVR. Do the math, that's $2.7 million of power and cooling costs per year across their entire organization.
That's amazing.
That's $13.5 million over 5 years of just power and cooling costs. That doesn't take into account maintenance, spindle failure and replacing the spindles, firmware updates, the cost of owning the actual equipment and the man hours that
Windows licensing, OS licensing,
all of that. Yeah. So by removing that extra piece and doing everything on the camera that we possibly can, you get rid of that. You get rid of all of that cost day one.
Yeah.
And it's not something that aggregates over the next 5 years.
Amazing. And the other piece of it too, is that a lot of organizations are looking to reduce their carbon footprint. They're looking to reduce their power consumption and try to become more net neutral, better for the environment, all those types of things. And so getting rid of power consumption sounds pretty dang good when you start thinking about what that impact can be on the environment.
Yeah, almost everyone has an ESG type of initiative internally in their organization. So yeah, we're talking about cost savings, which is great for one part of the business, right? On the finance side and the OpEx side, reducing the actual total cost of ownership and reducing these OpEx costs that are associated, that's great. That's great. But also a way that you can work with your shareholders, your private equity holders on the business side of things to say, we're also using this as a way to offset our carbon footprint or reduce our carbon footprint or be net neutral.
Right.
You can do that. You can actually use that same business case from a cost savings perspective to also show that you're being more environmentally friendly for your constituents.